Okay, so have you ever tried to like post the same thing on like 5 different social media platforms at once?
No, yeah.
I swear it makes me feel like a robot or something.
Right.
Just mindlessly copying and pasting, no real connection. Ugh. But hey, speaking of robots, that's kind of what we're diving into today, the world of automation.
Exactly. We're on a mission to uncover the secrets of becoming, well, maybe not robots, but definitely blogging efficiency ninjas.
I like that, efficiency ninjas. And our trusty guide for this adventure is an article from blogwidow.com called Blog Automation, a comprehensive guide to streamlining your blogging process. It's from February 6th, 2025, so
Uh,
pretty up to date.
yeah, it's a really great resource. And don't worry, even if you're not a blogger, I think a lot of the principles we'll be talking about apply to like pretty much anyone who does stuff online. I mean, who doesn't want to be more efficient, right?
Right. So to kick things off, let's just get the definition straight. What exactly is blog automation? Because I'll be honest, it sounds a little scary. Like, am I going to wake up one morning and find my blog has written a novel without me?
Huh. I wouldn't go that far. But AI writing tools are getting pretty sophisticated these days.
Seriously. Like, they can actually write articles now.
Yeah, but that's just one small piece of the automation puzzle. Think of it more like this. Blog automation is about using tools and software to streamline specific tasks, to make your life easier, not to replace you entirely.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. So it's less about robots taking over and more about using them as, like, really helpful assistants.
Exactly. It's all about empowering you to work smarter, not harder.
Okay, I'm liking the sound of that. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What are the actual goals of automation? Is it just about saving time, or is there more to it than that?
Well, saving time is definitely a big one, but the Blog Widow Guide actually outlines 5 key objectives.
Ooh, 5. Hit me with them.
Okay, so we're talking about consistency, streamlined promotion, SEO improvements, enhanced analytics, and automated lead generation.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to unpack. But the one that really jumps out at me is consistency. I mean, I know we all should be posting regularly, but let's be real, life gets in the way.
Right.
It's like trying to stick to a workout routine. Good intentions, but then boom, real life hits you with a double latte and a Netflix binge.
I feel you. But that's actually where automation can be a lifesaver. Imagine being able to plan and schedule your blog posts weeks in advance. It's like meal prepping, but for your content.
Okay, that's a really good analogy. I can
Yeah.
totally see how that would take the pressure off. But what about the personal touch? Won't it feel like impersonal if everything's automated? Like I'm not really there connecting with my audience?
That's a valid concern. And it's important to strike a balance. Automation takes care of the distribution and scheduling, but it's still your voice, your ideas. Think of it as freeing up your time so you can actually spend more energy engaging with your readers, responding to comments, and building those real connections.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like the robot handles the logistics, but the human is still the heart and soul of the operation.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the why, now let's talk about the what. The guide mentions a ton of different tools, and some of them sound a bit intimidating. AI, SEO optimization, analytics. Where do we even begin?
Well, the first thing to remember is you don't need every single tool under the sun. It's about picking the ones that fit your needs and goals.
Okay, that's reassuring. But I have to admit, the one that maybe freaks me out the most is AI writing articles. Is this really a thing now? Can a robot actually capture my unique voice and style?
Well, AI writing tools like Jasper, for example, have come a long way. They can
Right.
generate blog post ideas, create outlines, even write full drafts based on your prompts.
Oh, that's wild.
But they're not meant to replace you entirely.
So more like a brainstorming partner than a ghostwriter.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it as a superpowered research assistant. It can pull together info, structure it, but you're still the editor, the voice, the one adding that special something that makes it yours.
I'm starting to see the possibilities here. It's about using the AI to like boost my own writing, not to replace it altogether.
Exactly. And speaking of tools that can make your writing sharper, let's not forget the good old grammar and spelling checkers. I mean, even the best writers make mistakes.
Oh, tell me about it. Grammarly has saved me from some embarrassing typos more times than I can count. Although I did try using it to proofread my grocery list once, and it wasn't very helpful for remembering to buy milk.
Huh. Maybe not the best use case for a grammar checker.
Right.
But when it comes to polishing your website copy, blog posts, even important emails, it can make a huge difference in how professional and credible you appear.
Totally agree. Okay, so we've tackled AI content and grammar. What about another area that always makes me feel a bit lost? SEO. keywords, backlinks, algorithms. That's a lot.
I hear you. But honestly, SEO doesn't have to be scary. There are automation tools that can take a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Okay, I'm all ears. Give me some examples.
Well, there's Yoast SEO, which is a super popular WordPress plugin. It basically acts like your own little SEO coach, analyzing your content as you write and suggesting ways to improve it for, keywords, meta descriptions, readability, all that good stuff.
So it's like having a little SEO angel whispering tips in my ear.
Pretty much. It helps you structure your content in a way that search engines understand and like, which is key for getting your blog posts seen by more people.
Got it. Now, I've also heard about SEMrush, which sounds a bit more intense. Is that only for SEO gurus, or can mere mortals like me use it too?
The SEMrush is definitely more advanced, but it's incredibly powerful. It's like your SEO command center giving you insights into like keywords, competitor analysis, backlink tracking, the whole 9 yards.
Okay, color me impressed. So we've covered content creation, SEO. What other areas can we automate in this blogging wonderland?
How about this social media jungle?
Ooh, yes, the social media jungle. I swear I spent half my life switching between tabs trying to remember what I was supposed to post where. It's exhausting.
And incredibly time-consuming, which is precisely why social media automation tools are so valuable.
Okay, I'm all for that. But before you go on, I have to ask, isn't it a bit impersonal? Like, I don't want my followers to think a robot is running my accounts.
Right, I totally get that. But social media automation isn't about replacing real engagement. It's about amplifying your reach and freeing up your time so you can focus on those genuine interactions.
So how does that work in practice? What kinds of tools are we talking about?
Well, there are platforms like Buffer and Hootsuite that let you schedule your social media posts in advance across, all your different platforms. So you can create your updates, set them to go out at optimal times, and then you're free to engage with your audience in real time.
Okay, that does sound dangerously efficient.
Yeah.
I can already imagine myself sipping margaritas on a beach while my social media posts are doing all the work for me.
Huh. Wouldn't that be nice?
Right. But seriously, so it's like having a robot handle the announcements, but I'm still there for the actual party, right?
Exactly. The human touch is still essential.
I'm liking this analogy. All right, so we've conquered content, SEO, social media. What else can we automate in this magical world of blogging?
How about email marketing? It's a powerhouse for building relationships with your readers, turning them into loyal fans.
Oh, yeah, email. I know it's important, but I'll be honest, my current email strategy involves a lot of manual copying and pasting and hoping for the best. How can automation help me level up my email game?
Email marketing automation is all about sending the right message to the right person at the right time. Instead of, manually sending individual email or generic blasts to your whole list, you can create automated sequences that are triggered by specific actions.
Hold on, can you give me a concrete example? Like, I need a visual, I need to picture this in action.
Okay, so let's say someone signs up for your email list. With an automation tool like MailChimp or ConvertKit, you can set up a welcome sequence.
A welcome sequence.
Yeah, so it's a series of emails that automatically get sent to them over, a few days or weeks.
So instead of me having to remember to email each new subscriber individually, the system does it for me. Genius. What kind of things would I actually put in those automated emails?
Well, you can introduce yourself and your blog, share your most popular content, maybe offer a discount or freebie, or just provide some valuable tips and advice related to, whatever your niche is.
Ooh, I already have like a million ideas for a welcome sequence swirling around in my head. But what about the people who've been on my list for a while? How do I keep them engaged and prevent them from hitting that dreaded unsubscribe button?
That's where segmentation and personalization come in. You can, group your subscribers based on their interests or behavior and then send them targeted emails that are actually relevant to their needs.
So, for example, if someone keeps clicking on links about, I don't know, productivity hacks, I can send them a whole email dedicated to, time management tips and tools.
Exactly. The more personalized your emails are, the more likely people are to open them, click through, and, actually stay engaged with your content.
Okay, this is starting to feel less like spam and more like building a community around shared interests, which is exactly what I want my blog to be about.
Exactly. And that's really the power of automation. It's not just about working faster, it's about working smarter.
Okay, preach. But before we get too carried away with automating our entire lives, is there anything else we need to know before we dive into the how-to of actually setting all this up?
Absolutely. There's one more category of tools that can be super helpful, and that's analytics and performance tracking. Because what good is all this automation if we don't know if it's actually working?
You're so right. Data is king, or queen, as they say. But I'll be honest, staring at those analytics dashboards can feel a bit like looking into the abyss. So many numbers, so many charts, so many graphs. Help.
Don't worry, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. There are tools that can help you make sense of all that data without needing a PhD in statistics.
Okay, tell me more. What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, there's the granddaddy of them all, Google Analytics. It's free, and it tracks tons of information about your website visitors, like where they're coming from, what pages they're visiting, how long they're staying, what actions they're taking. It's all there.
Wow, that is a lot of information. But what do I actually do with all that data?
That's where the analysis comes in. You can use Google Analytics to figure out what your most popular content is, see which marketing channels are driving the most traffic, understand your audience's demographics, and just track your progress over time.
So instead of just throwing content out there and hoping for the best, I can actually use data to make smart decisions about my blog.
Exactly. It's all about using those insights to create even better content and, ultimately achieve your blogging goals.
Okay, I'm starting to see the light. We're automating tasks, gathering data, analyzing insights, and then using that knowledge to make informed decisions. It's a beautiful cycle.
It is. And there's one more piece of the automation puzzle that we need to talk about. Workflow automation tools. Think Zapier, Trello, that kind of thing.
Ooh, yes, we touched on those briefly before, but I'm ready to hear more. What exactly do these tools do?
Think of them as the glue that holds your whole automation system together. They let you connect all your different apps and automate tasks between them. It's all about creating a seamless workflow.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued, but give me an example. I need a real-world scenario to wrap my head around this.
Right, so let's say you publish a new blog post. With Zapier, you could automatically share it on all your social media channels, add it to your email newsletter, even create a task in Trello to remind you to, follow up with comments later, all without lifting a finger.
Whoa, that's amazing. It's like having a digital assistant who can anticipate my every need and just make it happen.
Exactly. Workflow automation can save you tons of time and mental energy by, just streamlining all those repetitive tasks that would otherwise eat up your day. And that's what blog automation is all about, really. Working smarter, not harder, so you can focus on the things that truly matter.
Okay, I'm officially sold on the concept of blog automation. But now I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by all the choices, like, where do I even begin?
Don't worry. The Blog Widow Guide actually has some really great practical advice on that, and that's exactly what we're going to dive into next.
Perfect. I am so ready to take this automation journey and transform my blogging process from, chaotic mess to streamlined machine. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork, we know the why and the what of blog automation. Now I'm ready for the how. What are some actual steps I can take to, make this automation magic happen in my own life? What can I do, today?
I love that, action-oriented. And you're in luck because the Blog Widow Guide has some really great advice on that front. They actually highlight, 5 key areas to focus on. And we've already touched on a couple of big ones, like automating blog post scheduling and, social media promotion.
Right.
So how about we dive into another area that can make a huge difference? SEO automation.
Okay, SEO. I know, it's important, but it can feel a bit like, I don't know, I need a secret decoder ring to understand all the jargon and the algorithms. Can we demystify that a bit?
Absolutely. And the good news is you don't need to become an SEO wizard overnight. There are automation tools that can help you tackle some of those, trickier tasks without needing a computer science degree.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of tools are we talking about here?
Well, we already mentioned Yoast SEO, that handy little WordPress plugin. Right.
The SEO coach.
Exactly. It's fantastic for on-page optimization, which basically means it helps you structure and write your individual blog posts in a way that search engines can, easily understand.
Got it. So Yoast is making sure my content is in tip-top shape from an SEO perspective. But the guide also suggests combining Yoast with a more advanced SEO tool, like SEMrush. What's the thinking there?
It's all about getting a more holistic view of your SEO strategy. Yoast is focused on the individual post, but SEMrush gives you a broader understanding of your website's performance as a whole. So we're talking keyword research, competitor analysis, backlink tracking, all that stuff.
So Yoast is my writing coach.
Yeah.
And SEMrush is my, strategic advisor?
That's a great way to put it. And what's cool is that they work together really well. Like, let's say you're writing a blog post about, I don't know, the best hiking trails in your area.
Yeah.
You'd use Yoast to make sure your post is optimized for all the relevant keywords like hiking, trails, outdoor adventures.
Right.
And Yoast will also analyze your content for readability, making sure it's clear and concise and engaging for, actual human readers.
Got it. So Yoast is making sure my post is appealing to both the robots and the humans. I like it. So where does SEMrush fit into this?
SEMrush helps you figure out which keywords are actually the most effective to target in the first place. Like, it'll show you what your competitors are ranking for, what people are actually searching for online, and how you can kind of tailor your content to attract more readers.
So it's taking the guesswork out of keyword research.
Exactly. It's giving you data-backed insights into what's actually going to resonate with your audience.
Yeah.
And once you've identified your target keywords, and you've optimized your content, SEMrush can also help you track your progress over time.
Oh, so I can see how my rankings are improving, how much traffic I'm getting from search.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. This is starting to feel a lot less like a mystical art and more like a strategic, data-driven process. And I am here for it.
That's the spirit.
But let's switch gears for a second, talk about another area I know I need to improve. Email marketing. I'm all about building relationships with my readers, but honestly, my email strategy right now is a bit scattered, to say the least.
I think we've all been there. But email marketing automation can be a total game changer. It can really help you nurture that audience, turn casual readers into, loyal fans.
Okay, I'm listening. Sell me on this. What makes it so effective, and how can I, actually make this automation thing work for me?
It's all about, like I said before, sending the right message to the right person at the right time. So instead of manually sending individual emails or, just generic blasts to your whole list, you can create automated sequences that are triggered by specific action.
Hold on. You're going to have to break that down for me. What do you mean by automated sequences?
Okay, so let's say someone signs up for your email list, right?
Yeah.
With a tool like MailChimp or ConvertKit, you can create what's called a welcome sequence.
A welcome sequence.
Yep. It's a series of emails that automatically get sent to them, over a period of few days or weeks.
Okay, so instead of me having to scramble every time a new subscriber pops up, the system just, takes care of it for me.
Exactly. And those emails can do so much more than just say welcome. You can use them to, introduce yourself and your blog, highlight your most popular content, maybe even offer a special discount or freebie, or just, provide some valuable tips and advice that's aligned with their interests.
My mind is already spinning with ideas for a welcome sequence. But what about the people who've been on my list for a while? How do I keep them engaged and prevent them from, hitting that dreaded unsubscribe button?
That's where segmentation comes in. Remember how we talked about using data to understand your audience?
Right.
You can apply that same principle to your email list, like grouping your subscribers based on their interests or behavior or demographics.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. So if someone consistently clicks on links about, I don't know, healthy recipes, I could send them targeted emails about, nutrition tips or meal planning advice, maybe even some exclusive discount codes for, my favorite health food store.
Exactly. The more relevant and personalized those emails are, the more likely people are to actually open them, read them, and, take action.
It's about building real connections, not just blasting out random promotions.
That's it.
Okay, this is feeling a lot less like spam and a lot more like, building a community, which is awesome. But before we go too deep into the how-to of setting up these email sequences, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on another area of automation that always feels a bit daunting: analytics and performance tracking.
Yeah, I get it. Analytics can feel a bit overwhelming at first, but honestly, they're so crucial for understanding what's working, what's not. And luckily, there are tools out there that can help you make sense of all that data without, needing a PhD in statistics.
Okay, tell me more. What kind of tools are we talking about, and how can they help, a data-challenged person like myself?
Well, we talked about Google Analytics earlier, right?
Right, the granddaddy of them all.
It's free, it's powerful, and it provides a wealth of information about your website visitors. You can see where they're coming from, what pages they're visiting, how long they're staying, even what actions they're taking on your site, like clicking on links or filling out forms. It's all there.
Amazing. But I have to admit, I've poked around in Google Analytics before, and it just felt like I was drowning in a sea of numbers. What's the secret to actually using that data effectively?
It's all about asking the right questions.
Hmm.
Don't get lost in the raw data. Focus on the insights that can actually help you improve your blog. So you might ask yourself, what are my most popular blog posts? Which social media platforms are driving the most traffic? What are the demographics of my audience? That kind of thing.
Okay, so it's about turning that data into actionable insights, not just getting bogged down by the numbers themselves.
Exactly. It's like having a digital detective helping you solve the mystery of what's working and what's not.
Ooh, I like that.
You're gathering the clues, analyzing the evidence, and then using those insights to refine your strategy and create even better content.
I love how all these pieces are fitting together. We're automating tasks, gathering data, analyzing the insights, and then using that knowledge to actually make smart decisions. It's a beautiful cycle.
It really is. And there's one more piece of the automation puzzle that can really help, streamline that workflow and create a more efficient system. Workflow automation tools, so things like Zapier and Trello.
Yes, we talked about those briefly before, but I'm ready to hear more.
Mm.
How can these tools help me take my automation game to the next level?
Think of them as the connectors. They bridge the gaps between all your different apps and tasks, allowing you to create these automated workflows that trigger actions across multiple platforms. For example, let's say you publish a new blog post.
Okay, I'm already intrigued. Walk me through a real-world scenario of how Zapier could make that whole process smoother.
All right, so with Zapier, you could set up what they call a Zap. And this Zap could automatically share that new blog post on all your social media channels, add it to your email newsletter queue, even create a task in Trello to remind you to follow up with comments later.
Wait, so I can do all of that with a couple of clicks? I don't have to manually copy and paste everything.
Nope. Zapier is your digital assistant. It handles all that behind-the-scenes stuff, so you don't have to.
This is mind-blowing. I'm already imagining all the time and mental energy I could save with these workflow automation tools. It's like having my own personal robot army working tirelessly to streamline my entire blogging process.
Huh. It's a powerful feeling. And the best part is, as you become more comfortable with automation, you can start experimenting with more complex workflows, connecting different tools, automating even more tasks.
Okay, I'm officially ready to dive into the practical side of setting all this up. But before I do, I want to hear your thoughts on something. As we embrace all this automation power, are there any things we should be cautious about? Any potential pitfalls we need to avoid?
That's a great question. It's important to be mindful as we, navigate this new world of automated workflows. The key is to remember that technology should serve us, not the other way around.
I love that. So how do we make sure we're using these tools wisely and ethically without losing, that human touch that makes our work unique and meaningful?
It's all about balance. Automation's amazing for, streamlining tasks and increasing efficiency. But it should never replace genuine connection, authentic engagement.
So it's not about letting the robots take over. It's about using them to enhance our work, to free up our time so we can focus on, the things that really matter.
Exactly. Think of it like this. Automation handles the logistics, but you're still the conductor. You're the artist, the one who brings the creativity and the personality and the heart.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Okay, I am feeling inspired and energized to take action. What are some practical tips for actually implementing these automation strategies? Where do I even begin?
Well, the Blog Widow Guide has some fantastic advice on that, and that's exactly what we'll be diving into next. Get ready to transform that blogging process from chaotic to streamlined.
Okay, so we're back, and my brain is officially buzzing with all these automation possibilities. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and start implementing some of these strategies. Where do we begin?
Well, it's great to hear that enthusiasm. And the Blog Widow Guide, actually offers some really practical steps for getting started. I think you'll find them surprisingly approachable.
Okay, lay it on me.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways that I can actually put into action today?
Well, we've already talked about, automating those blog post schedules, the social media promotion, SEO optimization, and email marketing, right?
Right.
So how about we wrap things up with one final piece of the automation puzzle? Workflow automation tools. Think Zapier and Trello.
Yes. These tools sounded incredibly powerful, but I'm still a little fuzzy on how they actually work in practice. Can you walk me through a real-world scenario?
Absolutely. So imagine this. You've just finished writing this amazing blog post and you're ready to share it with the world, right?
Right.
But instead of manually posting it to every single social media platform, adding it to your email newsletter and creating reminders for all those follow-up tasks,
Yeah.
you can set up a Zapier Zap to do all of that automatically for you.
Wait a minute. I can automate all of that with just a few clicks? No more copying and pasting links and updates across, like, a million different tabs?
That's the magic of workflow automation.
Yeah.
Zapier acts like this bridge between all your different apps, triggering actions based on these preset rules that you create. So you can basically tell it, hey, every time I publish a new blog post, automatically share it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, add it to my next email newsletter, and even create a Trello card to remind me to check for comments in 3 days.
That's incredible. So like having like a personal assistant who's working behind the scenes and handling all those tedious tasks so I can focus on the creative stuff.
Exactly. And that's not all. You can use Zapier to automate, all sorts of tasks. Things like saving new email subscribers to a spreadsheet, backing up important files to the cloud, or even getting notifications when someone mentions you on social media.
My mind is officially blown.
Okay.
This is way beyond just like blog automation. This is like streamlining my entire digital life.
It really is. And what's so great about tools like Zapier and Trello is that they're incredibly flexible and customizable. You can start with like these really simple workflows, and then you can gradually add more complexity as you become more comfortable with the platform.
Okay, I'm sold. But before I like dive headfirst into Zapier and start automating every single thing in sight, is there anything I should keep in mind? Any like potential pitfalls to avoid?
That's a great question. And as with any powerful tool, it's important to use automation wisely and ethically. The key is to remember, technology should enhance our work, not replace our humanity.
Oh, I love that. So how do we strike that balance? How do we make sure that we're using these tools to amplify our voices, not silence them?
It all starts with intention.
Yeah.
Be mindful of why you're automating certain tasks. Is it to free up time for, more meaningful work, to connect with your audience on a deeper level? Or is it just to, crank out more content without really putting in the effort?
That's such a good point. Automation can be like this amazing force for good, but it's important to make sure we're not just using it to, cut corners or create this kind of facade of engagement.
Exactly. Because honestly, people can tell when something feels impersonal or automated. So use those tools to, streamline the logistics, but always, always bring your authentic self to the table.
Okay, that's a great reminder.
Mhm.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into blog automation, what's one final, like, thought-provoking question you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Okay. Here's something to ponder. What's one area of your life, whether it's related to your blog, your business, even your personal life, where you feel constantly overwhelmed or bogged down by these repetitive tasks?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm already like mentally scanning my to-do list for some automation opportunities.
I bet you are. And for those of you listening, I encourage you to do the same. Think about the things that, drain your energy and steal your time. Could you automate any of those tasks to free up some mental space for the things you truly enjoy?
That's a fantastic challenge. And if you discover any like brilliant automation hacks along the way, we'd love to hear about them. Share your tips and tricks and, triumphs on social media, and be sure to tag us so we can celebrate those efficiency victories together.
Yes, absolutely. Remember, automation is a journey, not a destination. Start small, experiment, and, most importantly, have fun with it. The possibilities are truly endless.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of blog automation. We hope you've learned some valuable insights and, feel empowered to take your online presence to the next level. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of the digital world.